My lords, given that we are now at peace, I thought it prudent to begin briefings regarding our neighbouring spacefaring civilizations. As the most advanced and dangerous, I shall begin with the Blorg. The Blorg, although obviously highly intelligent, are driven by a primary goal: social contact and friendship, to the point that shunning them can result in military action. Forced friendship, if you will. The Blorg are a race of fanatic, xenophilic militarists, inhabiting a tropical planet that they simply designate as Blorg. They are not mammalian like us, instead they are fungoid. The Blorg have only 2 limbs, which are effectively large tentacles with 3 small appendages akin to thumbs on the end of each tentacle. This allows them to grasp and manipulate objects. They have no legs as such and must slide, slither and shuffle, a little like slugs. Some reports suggest that their tentacles assist movement, but they do not seem to have the appropriate tensile strength in order to do this. They also have no eyes or ears that are visible to us, and it remains unclear how they perceive their surroundings. I feel it prudent to point out, my lords, that these aliens are hideous and truly repugnant. If we understand their culture correctly, even they find themselves and each other to be awful to behold. Perhaps that is why they're so obsessed with forced friendship. On top of being repugnant, they live mostly in solitude, which makes sense given the fact that they are so damn gruesome to be near. In one of the universe's great ironies, and perhaps darkly amusing, they live about double the normal human lifespan. So here we have a race of aliens who need social comfort but are biologically predisposed to push away any likelihood of friendship, and therefore be destined to suffer alone for an awfully long time. A grim existence indeed, and a fair reasoning why forced friendship has become their doctrine. As we understand it, in their distant past, the Blorg were living alone in the vast jungles of their tropical homeworld. The Blorg lived in an unusual state of isolation. They appear to have been the only race to evolve on their world, the remaining life being plant only and not sentient. However, rather than displaying traits of xenophobia, the Blorg developed this uncontrollable desire to befriend, and apparently this is not exclusive to their own species. They longed for social contact even before they had gained any level of technology. Eventually, the Blorg advanced into an industrial revolution. One of the products that came out of this was radio. At first, the Blorg used the device to communicate and entertain, but on one fateful day, which we now understand as a national holiday on Blorg, they picked up radio waves from another world. This changed Blorg society. Whereby previously they had been developing relatively slowly, their technology output would now skyrocket. We understand that this is largely due to a military coup that occurred on their world. Their ranking military officers seized control of the government in order to drive the technological push. They had to reach the stars and befriend the people whose radio signals they had picked up. The military coup, coupled with the radio transmissions and newfound hope of friendship, drove the Blorg to the stars, and the forced friendship wars began. Led by their well-established military and distinguished admiralty, the Blorg found much success in conflict. They were able to claim a large region of space and vassalize a few smaller empires. Interestingly, although vassalized, they never enslave other species. They just force migration treaties upon them and force integration. A forced friendship, if you will. And as you'll be aware, the Blorg were the first race that we met in the stars. The contact war lasted decades until we finally agreed peace. We hold our borders for now, although we are regularly probed by Blorg vessels attempting to break into our systems. There is a constant barrage of requests for migration treaties and trade agreements. Our envoys barely hold them at bay. Finally, my lords, a few less than reputable trade confederations have made reference to the Blorg in some of their products. Our explorers have been reported being harassed by beings attempting to sell them great body-sized pillows in the shape of Blorg, and even a love-inducing drug reportedly made from the adrenal gland of a Blorg. My lords, I believe the Blorg remain a significant threat to our empire. Friendship which is forced is no friendship at all. Thanks for watching, folks. Show the Blorg some love in the comments, and as ever, if you want to hear another story, please click the video on screen now.